When you think of clubbing, you generally think of having a good time with mates, having a couple of drinks and hitting the dance floor. So why was I the complete opposite? I'll tell you, I was 16 in the Netherlands and I felt completely out of my own comfort zone. Let's rewind this a little bit then. I was 16 at the time, so it was 2013 that I went, and it was February. And my parents had let me go having never met this person before, and they only met him on the day I was going. And I'm still a bit confused as to why they let me go, but obviously I must have convinced them that I was going to be completely safe and fine. And so I knew this person from a company that I was working for, and he owned the company. So we went out to the Netherlands because I wanted to meet the other person that co-owned this company, and he had met him a few times, and he went to the Netherlands a lot to go and see him. So I wanted to go along, I wanted to see what it was all about, and hey, I mean, it's another country to tick off the list. So we went, off we go, we're off to the Netherlands, and I'm like, great, this is so cool, I'm independent, I'm doing things on my own, this is going to be awesome. It was not as good as I thought it was going to be, I'm going to be completely honest. So don't get me wrong, going to the Netherlands was great, and seeing this guy was great, and seeing the other person was great, all of that was great. It was the point that I went to a club that it just went downhill. I was in a situation where I was like, right, well, they want to go clubbing, I'm not really going to stay in this person's house because I don't really know this guy much at all yet. I've just met him, so hey, let's go clubbing. What's the worst that could happen, hey? So off we go. We have some pre-drinks as people do, and we're just having the drinks and it's fine. And then he meets a couple of friends, and we all go to this club. And bear in mind, I'm 16, so I was just allowed into this club. And I get my passport out. I'm like thinking, this is never going to work, surely. Like, because in the UK most clubs are 18, so I was thinking I'm never even going to get in here. But no, sure enough, I was allowed in. I was allowed to buy alcohol if I want anything like that. I didn't have any pre-drinks. I went with them, but I didn't have any of the pre-drinks. And I didn't have any alcohol in the club at all. I didn't even have Red Bull. For some reason, they offered me, they tried to get me to a Jaeger bomb. I said no. So then they were like, all right, just have some Red Bull then. Just have something to get you, get you going kind of thing. Get you in the mood. And I was like, no, I don't want anything. I don't want anything. Don't give me a drink. I don't even want water. I just want to be here and be nice and awkward. Awkward I was. I mean, I was the only person in the club not dancing. I was literally stood there on my phone doing nothing. I was just incredibly awkward. I didn't know what to do. Everyone was trying to encourage me to dance and join in. I was just just going to stand here if that's all right. Hours ticked by, and I mean hours. We were there for about 5 hours, I think. It was so long, and I was just like, okay, are we going to leave yet? I'm just checking my phone. I was actually doing work on my phone for the company that I worked for at the time in a club, because that's how awkward I was. I was like, oh, hey, there's some support stuff I could be doing. I'm just going to, I'll just deal with that rather than this girl that's just come over to me and wants to dance with me. And that's not a joke, by the way. 2 girls actually came over and tried to dance with me and kiss me, and I was like, I'm busy, I'm doing work, so if you just wanna go away, I'm just gonna crack on with my work and earn some money, because that's how I roll. I come to clubs, but I don't go clubbing. I just stand here and do work, because that's how cool I am. Obviously, there was no part of me that thought I was cool, and to this point, I still know that I wasn't cool, and at that point, no part of me thought I was cool at all. I can assure you of that right now. I knew how awkward I was there, and in fact, the only time I joined in was when Gangnam Style came on, and that was the only point I felt comfortable enough to do it, because one, I knew the moves, so I knew that everyone else would be doing the exact same thing as me, and because everyone else was doing the exact same thing, I felt, well, hey, I'm going to look really weird if I don't do that. And obviously I looked really weird anyway throughout the evening, not doing stuff, but because everyone was kind of doing their own thing, I didn't feel as awkward as I would have done if I hadn't joined into that. I did join in for a couple of photos as well, but mostly I just kind of stood around trying to avoid the people that look really beefy, that walk around like this with a big muscles, and I'm just like, I'm going to avoid you because I don't want to get into a scrap. Someone bumped into me, and I've never been so apologetic in my life. I know I'm British, so it's kind of a stereotype that we apologise a lot, but I was like, I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to, I'm sorry, because he was just like this big, bulgy guy, and I'm just like, I'm really, really sorry, I didn't mean to touch you, I didn't mean to bump into you, I don't want to do anything to you, please don't hurt me, please, please. I'll leave you alone, I'll buy you whatever you want, just don't hurt me, please. But, you know, he didn't hurt me, thankfully. And these girls had eventually left me alone, thankfully. And I was just there, just doing my support tickets. And I didn't know where anyone else had gone. So I was literally just stood there on my own. And people kept looking at me. And I could almost... You know when you can feel people looking at you and you're not even looking at them? You just sort of... Maybe you're just looking at the floor and you're just like this. And you can just feel all these eyes just staring at you going like, what is this guy doing? Why is he on his phone in the whole evening? I could feel that. I could just feel people were just looking at me thinking, what is this guy doing here? Like, he's a British 16-year-old. He's in a Netherlands club. And there's all these girls, there's all these guys dancing, having drinks, making out, doing whatever they do in clubs. And he's just stood there on his phone. He eventually left the club. It was about 5 in the morning, so it was very early or very late, however you want to put that. And I was like, oh, I can breathe now. I can finally breathe. We've left the club. It's all over. We can go back to the house and we can sleep. Oh, that didn't happen though. We didn't just go back to the house and have a sleep. We went on some random walk around these houses for some apparent reason. And the guys were like questioning me almost. It was like having a police interrogation. They're like, oh, why didn't you dance? And this, that, and the other, and everything. I was just like, I just didn't want to. I'm sorry. Like, please. What? I don't know. It's just, I'm 16 and this is awkward and I don't know what I'm doing here. That's basically how I felt. And then they were questioning me like, oh, do you not like girls? This and that. And obviously I've covered my my sexuality in a different video. But it's just like all these different questions. And I was 16 at the time in a foreign country. I didn't have my family with me. I was with 2 people. One that I'd only just met. And the other that I'd met once before this. I never had felt so far out of my comfort zone in my entire life. But I will always say, I think that clubbing experience was the worst point for any, and like being out of my comfort zone, that was the worst point. Like obviously being interrogated practically by them was not pleasant, but being in that club was awful. It was just, there was nothing enjoyable about it. I will never go clubbing again, and I honestly don't think I ever will. I'll go to like parties and have a bit of a dance on the dance floor. I will not go to a club though, because there is an expectation that you're going to get drunk, that you're going to have a good time, and I pretty much don't know how to have a good time, I don't think, and that you're going to make out with someone and potentially do drugs. I mean, I don't do drugs. I don't make out with strangers because I don't know what they've got, and I don't really drink, and I do have a good time. It's just that my good time is not in a club. My good time is going on a roller coaster or going out to eat some food or spending time with family and friends doing something like go-karting, swimming, bowling, anything but clubbing, because it's just not for me. I realised that at 16, hence the video. It's just not for me. Clubbing, it's not my style, it's not my thing. I don't think it ever will be. It certainly never has been. I can say I've done it, and I can say I never, ever, ever want to do it again. But I do hope you guys have enjoyed this video, enjoyed perhaps laughing at my expense because of how awkward the entire situation is, and perhaps you can try and imagine just how awkward I really was in this club, crammed with people, alcohol everywhere, and I'm just there on my phone doing tickets and emails and just doing general work instead of having a good time as everyone else was. But please do let me know, have you ever been clubbing before? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? What kind of happened? Or if you've never been, would you like to go? I can certainly say I will never go again, and I don't really recommend it if you're anything like me. But if you are new around here, please subscribe. There's much more content on this channel, much more to come in the future. Other than that, I will see you guys next time.